Hi everyone, this is John Miller again, one of the team pastors at the Community Church at Saddlebrook on another beautiful but hot sunny day here in Saddlebrook. A whole bunch of over 100-degree temperatures with no sign of rain. Nobody likes that here. We like to see that rain come in. But I wanted to share with you today a little bit of my own personal testimony of how I came to faith. Everybody comes to faith in Jesus a different way, really. I think there's no two alike. But I grew up in a Judeo-Christian type home. In other words, we had values. We really didn't talk a lot about those values, but they were kind of ingrained in a lot of people in the days that my brother and I grew up in California. It was, we had basically, we understood the Ten Commandments, we understood basic rights and wrong in that day. A little hard to figure that out today, but we had good parents who stayed together for 67 years. But we didn't go to church. We didn't talk about God much at all. We didn't pray or read the Bible. I think I went to church maybe once or twice my whole life growing up. And that was because some people invited my folks and it was a one-off deal. So I knew nothing about church. And it's interesting because I grew up just believing there was a God. I figured creation implies a creator, design implies a designer, and there must be a God out there. And I would pray a little prayer in the morning when I think about it. Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. If I should die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take. And that's pretty much the way I prayed it every night. And then I felt cozy and comfortable and safe, and I got in bed and went to sleep. As a little kid, I prayed that prayer and then dropped it after a while. But it wasn't until my junior year in high school, waiting for the bus, that I got to know a young lady. And I was a junior, she was a sophomore, and she invited me to what was called Youth for Christ. And it was a meeting of young people that met at school in the band room before school. And only a pretty girl could get me up early to go to anything. And so I said, yes, I'll go with you. Well, that caused me to enter into a world I never knew existed. It makes me think today about how many people don't know this whole Christian group of people in the world actually exist. Because I didn't know. I played ball on every Sunday morning. And my friends who didn't go to church came, and we had a blast every Sunday morning. Never even thought about religion or Jesus or God or church or anything in that vein. So that was a whole new world, because I began to see other people who had a true relationship with Jesus Christ. Had a great impact on me. Somebody asked me, "Are you a Christian?" I said, "Of course I am." The coins in my pocket say, "In God we trust," man. It's America. With, God, motherhood, apple pie. I mean, yeah, I believe in God. And he said, "Well, actually, do you know Jesus?" They started asking me these questions nobody had ever asked me before. And I said, I believe in Jesus. I believe in God. I believe in the Bible. I believe all that stuff. But see, you can believe it, and yet, so there are people who profess and people who possess. And I professed knowing God because I did not know God. In my mind, I was not an atheist. So I began to think about a relationship with God and where I stood with Jesus Christ. And it wasn't until I was invited to a Billy Graham crusade in 1963, where there were 120,000 people there at the LA Coliseum, that Billy Graham talked about a personal relationship with Jesus, where we would invite the Lord into our life as Savior and Lord, make a commitment of our life actually to God, and let Him control our life rather than us controlling our lives. And it hit me. I kind of got it. I began to understand that famous verse, for God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him will not perish but have everlasting life. It was that night, at that crusade, I put my faith in Jesus, and he changed my life forever at that point, because Christ was working on me from the inside out rather than just the outside. I had invited him into my life. He changed my life, and I am so excited for that reality today. And I wanted to share that with you. It's just kind of part of, not a little part A of a testimony. I hope you guys have a great day.